Hey, it's Monday night. Hey, get rid of that thing. Steve, what the heck? What the heck? There we are. There we are. Monday night.
Blocking it, blocking
The
it.
catch up show. I'm Steve. That's Pete. Welcome home.
Oh
Welcome
man, it's
home,
good to
man.
be home. It's good to be
Man, we
home.
missed you. 2 weeks. I did two shows without you. Hey, I had Amber or Noah Glanville filled in for you the first night you were gone from the owner of Pit Barrel Cookers. What a great guest.
I
He
bet.
he was super. He was super. Told us the whole history of the Pit Barrel Cooker and his history in the armed services. Very interesting person. And then last week,
Barry White.
yeah, Barry White,
Yeah.
the president of the Chattanooga Tourism Company, was with us talking about the Michelin star restaurant, the Travel South Michelin star restaurant program coming to the state of Tennessee and to Chattanooga. Pete, we could have a Michelin star restaurant in Chattanooga.
It'd be nice.
They will be judged. Now you go out a lot. Where give me an example of what you think a Michelin star restaurant in Chattanooga would be.
So to me, thinking about Michelin star, I'm thinking it's a pretty nice place. So for me, I don't see a lot of them in Chattanooga, but I see places like maybe where you Steve like to get your rib prime rib J
The
Alexander,
Alexanders?
kind of like that. It's a little higher price, but not like out of the world price. So I'm
Right.
thinking like that. Another one would be maybe Firebirds, that type of restaurant over there. There's a Greek restaurant over there. That's the type I think about. Might be a Michelin type restaurant.
Okay. Okay. St. John's.
St. John's.
I've never been there, but you go there
Yeah, and then there's the one that used to be. It's in the old hotel there. The one in the old hotel right there
at
off
the
of
at the Reed House.
at the Reed
Yeah,
House
that's
there.
pretty upscale. And
Bridgman's Grill is what it's
yeah,
called, and
yeah.
that's a really nice place.
Well, that would be really cool if we had a Michelin star restaurant. That'd be big time. Michael Williams, welcome back, Pete. Pit
Thank you,
Life
Michael.
Barbecue. There's our buddy Johnny Maggs from up in New Hampshire. Johnny, good to hear from you. Of course, Billy Holland checking in.
Billy, you wearing them shoes?
Billy, he ain't wearing no shoes. There's Johnny Maggs, and there's Billy Holland telling everybody good afternoon and good evening. And there's Perry. Evening, guys, eating a grilled burger with a fried egg. See, I knew, I knew that we would inspire people to on the burger seminar.
Steve,
I knew it'd inspire somebody.
I thought that was pretty cool, and there was the food were all
Yeah,
fantastic.
we're going to talk about it. We're going to show. I did a little montage just real quick to show. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Um, Congratulations, Mike Williams and Anthony Jones. Can you believe that their barbecue team? Um, what is it? I didn't write it down.
They took second place overall, right?
Yeah, maybe Michael. He'll shoot it in here. Southern barbecue. I can't. I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't write it down. And I forgot it. But anyway, Michael Williams and Anthony Jones. Jason Panley went with him, Pete, and
Yeah.
did the. I think he washed dishes for him. So we'll give him a little credit for that. They went down to the backyard, the Boogie and Blues barbecue contest down in Calhoun. They entered the backyard version, of course, and there he is right there. Southern Life, thank you,
Yeah.
Michael. Their team is called Southern Life Barbecue, and got second place,
Oh,
reserve grand champion
first
in
place
that
on
ribs
no, first place on brisket
and ribs.
and ribs. Yeah.
Brisket was an ancillary. It didn't
Yeah.
it didn't count in the big contest, but he
Right.
won the ancillary contest. Brisket, first place on ribs, chicken finish tie, pork finish tie. So congratulations, you two. What a great job.
Good for them.
What a great job. And um you know what is May coming up? May 5th. Now this is really weird now. May 15th, 16th, and 17th and 18th is the Memphis in May World Invitational Barbecue World Championship Barbecue Contest in Memphis, and it's going to be held at Liberty Park. Now, Memphis, I have never been to Memphis in May, so don't ask. I've never been there, but they're at Liberty Park, and of
Is,
course, in
is
our area, that's up there with the Jack. the Jack Daniels in our area. That's two contest pizza we can drive to in a day.
What was the other one that they had? They're having another one last year.
And at
Yeah.
which is where Memphis in May used to be, they have Smoke Slam that our buddy Will Hare won.
Yeah.
And Will was on with us last year, won over $90,000.
No kidding.
So both of those coming up on May 15th, 16th, and 17th. Memphis in May goes to the 18th. So, and you do have to buy tickets. There is an admission price to get in these events because they're so big. But
bad though. I was listening. It
60,
seemed like, huh?
The Smoke Slam's about $65.
But you're there. I mean, that gets you.
That's all. That's 3-day pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, if you're into barbecuing and when you get to kind of get around and try and see different things, man, that's not a bad price.
Billy says, "I love my shoes." But Pete went to Amsterdam and brought Billy back a pair of ceramic wooden shoes.
Yeah, it's with his name on them.
Yeah, well,
they come from Holland, right?
From Holland. Brent Hilliard checking in. Sorry to miss the Burger Bash Saturday highlights. Welcome back, Pete. Brent,
thanks, Brent.
You missed a good time, Brent, but I know if you could have been there, you'd have been there. We did have a good time. So if you don't have anything to do the 15th, 16th, and 17th and 18th of May, you head over to Memphis. It's going to be Barbecue Central there. And I know that both of them it's a who's who in the barbecue world. The only popular barbecue people
everybody
not there is
anybody will be there.
We're the only ones not going to be there.
Yeah, well, we didn't get.
We're waiting on our appearance money.
Yeah.
Think I'm going over there for free? I'm thinking, well, I'm not going up there. Now I know under my picture it says the Michelin Star Show with Barry White, and that is obviously from last week. I forgot to change it, so just forget about that. Just forget about the Michelin Star Show with Barry White. And coming up this Saturday, closer to home, the Battle Below the Clouds at Ruby Falls, and that is a big fun event. It's a benefit. It benefits the Lana's Love Foundation. Jim Webster's daughter, who passed away several years ago, he started a foundation for her, for Lana, and it is a wonderful event. Steve Davidson is going to be up there. I think Michael Williams is going to be helping Steve up there. Steve will be cooking with the most popular guy in town, Scott Chase from KZ106, and Billy Holland's team is going to be up there as well. Grill Billy's barbecue, and Billy will be up there as well. Billy has won several awards up there.
It's for bragging rights. Billy told me that's, that one there is one for bragging rights. But now, I'll have to ask, I'm playing golf with Scott Chase tomorrow. He and I'll be playing golf tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to ask him about that. I'm sure he's looking forward to that.
I think Scott has actually won that.
Really?
Won that before. And of course, one of my good friends that died not too long ago, he won it as well. So, it's a who's who. It's a who's who of people from the Chattanooga area that go up there. It's a big time fun too. And it grows and it grows and it grows and grows. And it was Jim Brewer, who my friend was that passed away not too long ago. He won it one year, and I had to listen to that for a long time. Now, I mean, when he won that, boy, it was,
yeah.
When somebody wins bragging rights, it's okay. Congratulations. But when Jim won bragging rights, he bragged about it.
Well, you know what?
And good for Jim.
Good for him. I was going to say, you know what? To win it, I don't care. You deserve to have some bragging rights when you win one.
Right. Hey, let's all right, Pete. Let's go. Before we talk to you about your vacation, let's go. We did this burger seminar Saturday, and it wasn't as well attended as I wanted it to be, but that's okay. The people that came were very nice. And here's just a little video of it. First one up, that's Billy. And Billy brought all the stuff. Look at all that stuff that Billy brought. I'm going to tell you,
that was a fan. Now, there wasn't a bad burger, but Billy cooked.
There's David Roberts. There's Jeff's.
Yeah.
And coming up is my smash burger.
Yeah.
Now, they were better than that looked. I want to tell you that right now. Okay. I'm going I'm going to tell you, we'll go over that again. There's Billy again with his big spread. David Roberts is going to be coming up with his breakfast burger, eggs, hash browns, cheese, and a muffin.
Bacon.
And there's Jeff's did a Juicy Lucy. There's cheese inside of Jeff's. And now, Pete, you know those burgers I did look better than that. I don't know what it was.
I don't know that shot right there.
Well,
but
there was one I couldn't get flat, and
Yeah.
that was the one.
Yeah.
But thank you, Pat Harrington, for sending me those pictures. We took videos of it,
yeah.
and I lost the video. I had my computer worked on today, and I'd lost the video.
Oh my God.
That's all right. That's all right. But Pat Harrington was nice enough to
But you had
send us those
some
pictures.
out there that you had put out, some
Yeah.
of the videos.
Yeah, some videos. Yeah. Let me see.
Because
I've got there's Billy. There's Billy's. That's Billy, one of Billy's burgers that he did.
Look at that, man.
I know, man. That was
On an onion bun, by the way. Onion
yeah.
bun. That was fantastic.
It was. Just a classic cheeseburger is what Billy did.
On steroids.
And there they are on the grill.
Yeah.
So
look at those nice marks from
the
those
grill grate
grates.
marks, man. The grill grate marks. You can't beat it. And there's David Roberts breakfast burgers
Oh man.
on those.
That was another one.
Yeah, God,
Those were on English muffins.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, if it didn't have a hole in it, I could see those on a bagel too. Just cover the hole with some cheese.
I think putting those on a bagel would be perfect.
Oh man.
Now I asked David to put them on because I love English muffins.
Oh yeah.
I know you like them.
I do too.
We all like them. And but I think a bagel would be really, really good. Let's see. Johnny Maggs, I've had your smash burgers. Yes, you have. Yes, you have, Johnny.
He's sure his whole family.
Yeah, y'all all shared in it. So that's a good thing. They were good. But anybody, smash burgers are easy to do. They're easy to do. But you know what? I have ordered today. I ordered some smashers for everybody to buy at the store, and the little pieces of paper that we use. Ordered some of those today.
Good.
So
good.
we're slowly adding the things that I've been wanting to add for a few years.
Yep.
The little accessories. We got the big things. And Pete, the store, you couldn't believe the store when you got back.
Oh,
It's bulging.
it is.
It's bulging at the seam. Man, we got inventory up to yazoo. If I'm gonna tell you something, if you can't come in that store and find a rub that you like, I'm just gonna tell you right now, you're hopeless. You're hopeless, or you're the biggest barbecue snob on the face of the earth.
It's amazing to me, Steve. The new people that came in Saturday. You know, I was in there Saturday after everything
absolutely.
was over, and had a guy and his wife come in, and they left with a huge box of seasonings because, you know, they'd go back there and they'd ask questions, and I'd say, well, just try it. You know, well, what about this one? I'm not sure because I don't use that, but I can tell you about these 10 right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they ended up leaving with a huge box of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a good day. We had a good day in the store Saturday too, by the way. So everybody, thank you for coming in. And for those that did attend the seminar, man, I think we had a good time.
Yeah. Those that didn't, you really missed a good time.
Yeah. But we'll do it again. We'll do next one will probably be something like a brisket or something like that. We did a brisket not too long ago. No, we did prime rib.
Prime rib.
Prime rib. That's right. We'll do a brisket here before too long. Everybody's wanting to do brisket. Now it's brisket time. Pete back from Amsterdam. All right. Let's I'm not going to turn this into one of those Anthony Bourdain travel shows. Okay. But I am interested in number one, the barbecue scene and the food scene in Amsterdam. Where you went? Where's the other place you went?
I was in Belgium,
and
Germany,
and Antwerp.
Yeah, Antwerp, where the diamond.
Explain. There's no barbecue in Amsterdam, right?
No, they don't allow them to smoke or to have smokers or even barbecues outside. Right there in the city of Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
If you're out in the country, which there is some country, and you're basically headed out to where the Dutch and all them live, then I did see some old handmade smokers out there where people had been, especially the people that were raising cattle out there had smokers. So that, you know, and I sent you a picture of a little town that I was in.
Yeah.
That was a grill, what they called a grill, and a tall and a small. and that little town allowed you to have them. You could, because it wasn't as like Amsterdam. But Belgium, there's another one. Walking through the streets in Belgium, the little town, reminded me of your startup show where the guy's got the hog and he's turning it. And that's what we walked up on. And the guy was doing a baby lamb. And he was smoking that baby lamb. And gosh, it smelled fantastic. But
did you get to sample it?
no, it wasn't done, and we were heading out. But he loved. He got his picture made with me, and we talked about. I got a lot of pictures made, Steve, all through different places.
Well, I put the one with the T-shirts out there on the Facebook page.
But just real quick to answer your question, Amsterdam, not big into barbecuing. You're not going to find barbecue sandwiches, or you're not even going to find steaks. It's rare. Because
what do they eat when you went to the restaurant? What did you go out?
So they do a lot of pasta, a lot of Italian type stuff, but their spaghettis and all that stuff are with sauces, but no meat. But it's fantastic. It really is. They do chicken. They eat a lot of duck. They eat a lot of duck. A lot of duck there. But
I could do a duck. I could eat a duck.
They do have markets, and in the markets you can buy some meats. But you can't get I couldn't find a steak in any restaurant that I went at, or even a hamburger.
Really?
No.
Not even a hamburger?
Not even if you wanted a hamburger, you wanted a hamburger, you go to McDonald's. They had a McDonald's, totally different menu, by the way. I sent you the menu. Or you'd go to Burger King. That's it.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird.
But now Antwerp, where all the money is, I will tell you that they had every kind of fast food place there you could imagine, from Dunkin' Donuts to, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So, but barbecue, the further you went, they do it in Germany, they do it in Belgium, but in Amsterdam, not at all.
Is Antwerp, is it one of those super busy places?
It's like walking down the streets of New York. If you see people and you see New York City, just how busy, except every store, like 50 stores in a row on one side and on the other are all diamond stores. Diamonds.
That's one they do sell them. So they do sell them retail.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you price a diamond?
No.
I know Connie did when you weren't looking. I'm sure she did.
You know what? The thing about it is you got to pay duty on anything you take over $800 back, right? When you cross the border, you got to claim it. If you don't claim it, you get caught. And but I did smoke a good Cuban cigar while I was there. They do have Cuban cigars there. They don't have bourbon. Very little bourbon. Very little bullet bourbon. They think Jack Daniels hung the moon. Jack Daniels everywhere.
Did you tell them how close you lived to Jack Daniels Distillery?
Oh yeah. That was, man, they were my buddies.
I bet they're all wanted to ask you about it.
And then I won't say what it said, but the most interesting thing in the whole trip was the dentist office I sent you the picture of. And had my wife stand next to a big glass window in the dentist office, and it said, "Keep effing smiling," but it spelled it right out. So that was pretty unique.
That'd be a good slogan for a dentist. He was doing some work. So a lot of fish.
They do eat a lot of fish, herring, and they call it kipling, but it's just cod, but they call it kipling. So, and it's all fresh, and they eat eel. They eat a lot of eel.
Did you eat an eel?
I did.
What does an eel taste like?
So it's, it really, honestly, Steve, it didn't have a lot of taste to it. As a matter of fact, the picture I sent you of me and one of the guys with the big old smoker, he smoked eels in there. They hung up, they catch them and they hang them up in there and smoke them. It's hard. It's a real thin, it's a delicacy there. It's a real thin piece of meat. But honestly, it tastes like fish. it didn't have no,
Makes
to
sense.
me, it didn't taste anything special or anything different. I will say the cod now they served me some fried cod, kipling, they called it. Well, everything that they fry, when they bring it to you, there's not a touch of grease on it. I don't know how they do it, but it's you just break it. It's the most beautiful, crispy fish and no grease whatsoever in it.
All those flowers. You sent back hundreds of pictures of flower tulips, obviously, and the windmills. What are the windmills for? What do they do?
So the windmills are working windmills. And if you're right there in the Dutch colony, which is where I went, one of the places, each windmill has a special, unique thing. They use it for a sawmill that generates their power for the sawmill.
Really?
So then they have one that most of them move water. So, and it takes like 6 of them together to be able to send water in different directions and different distance and stuff. Inside them is just a big auger. And they run just like actually like a dam that you would have here that I've looked at, that runs power, and how they generate power is the same way through those. But they also live in them, right? Everything's in the center of it. So all these works and stuff are in the center. The big blades up top have cloth on them, as well as they're made of steel. And to actually replace and have your blades fixed, 60,000 euro, which is over $60,000.
Wow.
Okay. That's, and they all have the kind of grass type roofs. And that's high dollar to get that done. And it lasts for, 30 years.
Is it government housing, or do people own them?
No, but actually, so yes and yes. There is some government, and the way the government works is they will one of the men that I met who lived in one was a miller. They called them millers. And what they do is they basically say, you can live here, but you got to keep it up, right? They'll put the money in to fix it, but you have to keep it, maintain it. You're the maintenance person there, and they don't give you free rent, but they very minimal rent to live in one. And most people that live in them have raised their families in them and live in them. And Steve, they all ride bicycles. Nobody travels. They travel on bicycles, scooters, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
You said the only fat people were Americans over there.
You knew who was an American, because when you saw a big person, they were from Texas, or they were from Ohio, or they were from, and that's honest truth. Anybody from there, they're slim. I'm telling you, they ride bikes every day, everywhere they go, to work, to school. There's trains, bikes, cars, motorcycles, and scooters all fighting for a position on the road.
Is it dangerous?
It's very, it's absolutely crazy dangerous. And by the way, if you're walking on the sidewalk, you can get run over by a bicycler. I mean, they just go everywhere, and they're flying. It's crazy. You have to have your head on a spindle. I'm not kidding you. It's crazy. I guarantee my wife almost got hit 3 times, and I had to grab her and drag her, just snatch her real quick to keep from getting run over. And I kept, you've got to look in every direction like 10 times. No kidding.
That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Let's see. Can I ride bikes here? No, they can't. Would you go back?
I would, especially if I maybe go with somebody, and I would do things a little different. I mean, we hired, it was a little more expensive because we hired a guide every day. We had a guide in a van that took us everywhere. So we would go to Germany, and come back that day. So we'd spend 4, 5, 6 hours at each one of these places. But we actually, if we'd have known ahead of time, we could have probably hit 2 or 3 places along the way, because then we'd come home next day, we'd go back that same way. And then, so we weren't very smart on that. We didn't know it, but yes, it's a different world, and I never have been to anywhere like that. And I told my wife, my kids, I wouldn't take anything for this vacation, because the history, the learning, the people were very nice. There was no ugly people to us at all there, but it was just such a different world and a way of living. I couldn't live there. I mean, I don't want to live there.
Is it fast paced or
it's so fast. It's so fast. And electric, probably 80% electric vehicles. Everything. The trains are electric. The semis are electric. And there's electric stations now. Fuel, $2 a liter, which is 4 liters in a gallon, right? $8 a gallon for gas. And then just the semi pulled up. I went over and talked to the guy at the gas station, but they have all the electric stuff. And they were 2 guys sitting outside the semi, and they said, hey, it's 45 minutes. Takes them 45 minutes on these superchargers to charge that semi back up. So they just sit there while they're charging. And then hit the road again.
You said no plastic bottles.
All glass.
All glass.
It's I really never understood it, but and it the milk or maybe juice. There is juice and stuff that will can come in a plastic,
Mhm.
but when you unscrew the caps are made that they unscrew and then they just flip over. So they don't want the caps getting out because it's killed a lot of their doesn't have zillions of ducks and stuff. So they keep the caps attached and first thing I did in a cooking class, day one, is open. She handed me a jug of milk. I'm making pancakes. Hands me a jug of milk, and I ripped the cap off. And she's like, "No, we don't do that here." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? I didn't know."
Ugly American.
Yeah, but canals, water everywhere, Steve. The water is the best water I've ever put in my mouth, ever drank. Just tap water, and the canals that the boats go up and down. We were on a boat tour and they reached in the water and pulled a glass out of water. And Steve, it was as crystal clear as you would pull right out of your faucet. No kidding. It was amazing. So and they don't use a lot of ice. If you were to get a cocktail, then you're going to get one little bitty ice cube. If you get a Coke,
why is that?
I don't know.
Why is that?
They drink a lot of their stuff fairly warm. A lot of the beer, especially in Belgium. Now, Belgium had.
Can you ask for more ice? Can you say, "Hey,
yes,
give me some ice"?
They'll bring it. They just won't unless you ask for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you learn to cook at your cooking class?
So we actually learned. So what we would call pancakes is much different than the pancakes they cook. So pancake, for example, I took an apple and sliced it really thin, just like cut it in half, and then make real thin slices and put it in a skillet, an iron skillet. And you're just with a little oil and you're cooking that apple a little just on both sides. And then while that was going on, I made and I got the recipe, the pancake batter. And then it's real thin batter, put it on there. So this pancake comes out very thin, but the key, when you get it ready to go, you got to flip it, right? She wanted me to flip it. She's like, "Can you flip it?" I said, "Yeah, I can flip it." Flipped it over, but it comes out really thin. So here's now a pancake with apples embedded in the middle of it that are cooked perfectly. Flavor is fantastic. They top it off with a little powdered sugar. And then the other one that I did was with bacon, right? They love bacon. They love bacon too. So
is it bacon like us or is it board bacon like
no,
Billy makes?
It's bacon like ours, but it is sliced paper thin. And that's the way they want it. So they would take, I took about 3 slices of bacon and cut it in half and fried up that bacon in the pan, and then did the same thing, poured the batter over it and let that sit there and cook for a little bit, flipped it, cooked on the other side, a little white powder, sugar, and then the syrup is not syrup that they use. It's thicker than molasses. It's dark. It's very flavorful, but it's so thick and it's like in a ketchup type bottle, right? Poured out, and you got to spread it with a knife or something. It's just too thick for me. It was way too thick to eat for me. But that's every day in everybody's house. Anybody you go near, they got that sitting on the table.
Brent says their pancakes more like a crepe.
So they're thin like a crepe because they serve crepes as well. They do crepes, but it's just really thin. The batter that they use, and I put the recipe together, and I'll put that out here one day and kind of give an idea of it. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's pancakes, and I think with our syrup, it'd been a lot better to me, but other than that, that's what they eat every day.
Well, Pete, good for you. Good for you. Welcome home, and
glad to be home, though.
Well, I appreciate the little tour through Amsterdam, Belgium, and Antwerp. Antwerp is one place I would like to go.
It's amazing
just to see the diamond place, because I like those heist movies that they always film in Antwerp.
It's amazing just to look.
Security.
Oh yeah.
They have armed guards walking around.
So you don't walk into. So all those. Remember, I told you all these diamond windows. I mean, they're just full of big diamonds, all kind of diamonds. You don't just open the door and walk into a diamond store. Okay, you ring the bell, and there were lines. Right, and they take you in like one over here, one. Individually they would have you. So you don't have a store full of people. You have however many people they have working there that are seeing one person at a time.
And they're working. They don't probably don't want browsers, do they?
No,
They don't want people like me, and
No.
they're going, golly, there's a bunch of
That's
dollars
why they
here."
got the windows out there.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to gawk,
If you
there's
want to
one.
gawk, gawk at the window, but to get in there, you got to be serious. And look, there are people there every day. I'd ask the question with some of the people there. There are people there from the U.S. that come in there and are buying tons of diamonds from these people,
Mhm.
right? I mean, tons of them.
Well, the armed guards running around. I mean, were there any
There's
big security?
Lots of
force?
security, but they don't mess with they call them polite
Uh-huh.
instead of police, but they don't mess with those folks, and they're tandem vehicles together.
Uh-huh.
Now they did shut down Amsterdam. I don't know if I even told you this. They shut Amsterdam down where we were, which made it kind of hard for us to travel one day to get where we were going. And the reason they did is Marco Rubio was there for a NATO meeting.
Mhm.
And they shut the streets down. Anytime anybody's coming in, any kind of big wheel comes in, they shut them down and reroute people all over the place. So that was kind of cool.
That is cool. Well, we're glad you're back. Glad you made it. All right. Here's do the food pictures here, Pete. There's the one we showed at the beginning of the show, top of the show. Billy Holland's classic cheeseburger. And that thing is good. You know what I liked Billy did on his, what I like? He put that lettuce on the bottom of that bun and built the burger on top of that lettuce so that bottom bun wouldn't get soggy.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things we talked about. And that makes a difference in a burger if you can keep that bottom bun intact and not get it all soggy.
People were amazed that Billy had such a small workstation, and everything he had going on in that little workstation was friggin' crazy. I mean, he had it going on. He had bacon, he had eggs going on, he had hamburgers cooking, he had I mean, he's had it all going.
And everything came off at the right time. That's what I liked about it. He even grilled off the tomatoes. It never occurred to me to grill off a tomato going on a burger, but I'm going to try it one of these days.
I am too.
I think it's a great. That's the one thing that I saw that I can't wait to try. We might do that for lunch here at the gas station one day this week. And there's his burgers on the grill grates. Love those marks. Billy's also doing some wings. There's some practice wings he's doing for the Battle Below the Clouds contest coming up this Saturday at Ruby Falls up on Lookout Mountain. There's David Roberts breakfast burgers on the English muffins.
And he cooked those on the
griddle.
The griddle.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, he as well had it going on. He had the hash browns, the eggs, the bacon. He had stuff going on. But now that jelly mix that he made, that he put on there, that was fantastic.
It's really good. This is from the week, Jeff. That's Jeff Maxwell did one of those turkey roasts that we like. They're just so good.
I think we convinced him. Hear us talking about it.
Yeah, there's Southern Life Barbecue right there. Michael Williams and Anthony Jones got a big second place finish down at the Barbecue Boogie and Blues in Calhoun this weekend. Congratulations to those two guys. Steve Davidson checking on. Look at those wings. He's getting ready to do the contest as well. They're all practicing this week. So I can't wait to see who wins that. I hope one of our guys wins that. Thomas Damon checking. You were just over there in his neighborhood.
Yeah, he was
in
actually
Germany.
texting me. And
I don't think you were that far from him, were you?
No, at one point I was probably an hour from him.
Wow.
And I really wish that I could. As a matter of fact, Steve, had I been able to go visit him, I was going to give him your T-shirt so he'd have an Owl's Nest bar, because that guy puts more stuff on here, man. He's a heck of a cook.
Yeah, he is. And these guys, it looks like some mushroom caps. He's got some sort of looks like a broccoli and carrot medley. I don't know what those are. Those pork steaks?
They kind of look like
pork steaks, don't they? And of course, those are German. That's not hot dog. That's German sausage, which looks very much like a hot dog. And they don't taste near as good as a hot dog. I promise you that. Here is Will Witt, one of our newer members, Pete. Will's got a food truck. Look at that stack of ribs there. Look at those spare ribs.
Wow.
Man, those look good, Will. And look how clean that center is. Will, that is very impressive. Good for you. That's very nice. David Roberts, here's a brisket that David made. David is taking orders for Memorial Day, for barbecue Memorial Day. He's doing pork butts, briskets, and ribs. If you want to find out about it, you can go to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Nation page. I put a post on there today with David's contact information, or look up David Roberts on Facebook, and his prices will be there and all the things that he's
Limited
doing.
supplies, you know, and that's
Yeah.
one thing he and I talked about, which is, you know, you gotta set. I'm going to cook this many. You know, Steve, you do it all the time. I'm
Yeah.
going to cook this many. This is what we're going to cook, and that's what he did. So he put out there, I'm going to cook 20 racks of ribs or
Right.
whatever it is, and so if you want to get an order from him, and I guarantee you, everything he cooks is good.
That's a good looking. That's a good looking brisket right
Yeah.
there. And look at Heath Jordan checking in. Heath won. I saw Heath. I don't know where it was, but Heath won a chili contest this past weekend somewhere. So all the guys from the Owl's Nest Barbecue, our little pro staff, our little group of friends, they're out there competing and spreading the word, and not only they're winning. So good for you guys. Y'all keep it up and keep telling everybody where you get all your supplies at. But that is a good looking batch of smoked cheese, Heath. You know, I kidded Heath. He asked me, he said, "Do you ever smoke cheese, Steve?" I said, "No, I go buy it. It's already
I
smoked."
smoke it.
Yeah,
I like smoking cheese.
But it's hard. It's not as easy as it looks. But Heath, it looks like you did a great job on that smoked cheese. And that's a lot of work right there. I'm telling
It
you.
really is. It's not that. I mean, it only takes. I'll tell you, the long part for me is wrapping the cheese up and putting it in the fridge for a week. It's got to sit there for a week after I do it. I put it in there, wrap it up.
So all the flavors stay condensed.
Yep, and then pull it out and vacuum seal them.
Yeah, one more time before we get out of here, let's do the. There's Billy Holland helping us with those burgers. There's the finished product. David Roberts coming up doing those breakfast burgers. And there's Jeff's Juicy Lucy's right there. And there's the smash burger that I did. Again, thanks, Pat Harrington, for sending us those pictures and kind of taking care of us when I messed up and forgot to take the still pictures.
It's all right. It was a busy day for you.
It was busy.
And, you know, normally I would be taking still pictures, but I videoed.
Now you were doing the video.
So I'll tell you what, and I have to throw this out there. I know y'all probably have talked about it before, but we miss Sean. Sean been helping us doing some of that stuff, and you know, bless his heart, I hope he's recovering well.
It's gonna be a while. He's probably gonna be out 3 or 4 more weeks. Broke his ankle. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for listening. Pete, welcome home. We're glad you're back, and we will see you next Monday night right here on the Catch Up Show. And of course, you can catch us every day at the Owl's Nest Barbecue store in Ooltewah. Come and see us.